Welcome to Puentes by Susannah Lorenzo. I am an oracle whisperer and I am here to share an energy forecast for the month of May 2026. But whenever you come to this video, to this audio, it's because you need to hear the message. I was planning to record the weekly forecast, but then I was guided to create a forecast and a report for the month of May, because there are some awkward energies moving around and we all need to be prepared and to focus on the best outcome. For this reading, we are using the spread of whispers. First, we are going to pick a card from the Oracle Between Worlds, one of my oracles, and we are going to hear to the whisper of our soul, to the soul whisper. What does our soul need us to hear? What does our soul need us to understand? Or what energy does our soul need to activate during this month of May? In the second place, we're going to pick a card from Susannah's Oracle in order to do our shadow work. Because when we do our shadow work, then we can easily manifest the light and the outcome that we need in our life. And for the Spirit Whisper, we are going to get a message from the loving heart of Jesus, from Jesus' Oracle. Before listening to the forecast, grab your journal, grab a notepad, and write down whatever you feel as soon as you see the messages, as soon as you pause the video and watch the images. So observe and be aware of the emotions or the physical reactions or sensations that you may have when you hear certain words, when you look at certain images. And then you can resume again the forecast, because that very first part, that very first reaction, that very first response of your body and your emotions and your mind is going to be a huge part of the message that you need to hear today, so that then you can work out during the month of May the best outcome and the best way to prepare yourself to get ready to deal with the energies that we cannot avoid.
Take off your muddy shoes, dust off the ashes from past moments, breathe here and now, unwind your mind, open your heart, get rid of masks and disguises, call in your soul and accept divine guidance. This is the sacred temple of the Oracle Whisperer. Make a bow before the divine. Surrender your ego, your mind, and your heart. Give thanks for this chance to listen to the whispers from the divine oracle. This is the sacred temple of
There are messages from the universe which come loud and clear, and there's no way to ignore them. But then there are times when the Divine Spirit and our soul whisper softly, a quiet breeze on a silent night, a subtle sigh which can only be grasped when our mind is asleep and our heart is taking a nap. It's in that moment of repose when our will surrenders to the tides murmuring the wisdom of the skies, and the whispers from the oracle have no need to rush or scream. For the Soul Whisper, we have the card of Magic Castle from the Oracle Between Worlds. This Magic Castle represents our ability to make possible what looks impossible. It helps us manifest our crazy dreams, and it helps us make our dreams come true. This Magic Castle is talking about our ability, our potential to build these castles on the clouds, in the sky, with our imagination at the level of heaven. But then we can make it real in our physical world. That's why the ladder that connects this magic castle in the card has some steps which are violet or purple connected to the sky, but then the steps become brown as they reach the earth, as they get closer to the physical world. All the balloons with different colors represent our thoughts and our dreams, which go higher and higher and higher in order to dwell in this castle. This castle represents the place where all our treasures and wealth are kept as a sacred treasure of our soul. And it's a symbol of salvation and of our spirit, which is able to build the most amazing castles, the most amazing dreams in the invisible world. This castle is a luminous building, and it is the home of the knight in the tarot cards. And it can be our safe place when we feel overwhelmed by whatever is happening in our life. This card is showing us that we have the ability to live in heaven and to live on earth, that we can find balance between the spiritual world and the mundane world, between heaven and earth. We can make heaven be visible or be real on earth, and we can make earth reach heaven at the same time. We can make whatever our soul needs become true. We can make our dreams become true while we breathe with the divine breath, with the divine sigh. The flags on the walls, which are moving with the wind, represent the joy of our soul. This joy which does not get polluted by any sorrow from this incarnation. It's talking about the joy that the soul is able to carry life after life, incarnation after incarnation. The entrance to the castle has some violet or purple petals, which represent the connection with the divinity, with the expression of God, which takes part in the creation and manifestation of our dreams. The portal, the entrance, is protected and closed with some dark purple wooden sticks, and this indicates that our imaginary world, our creative world, cannot be visited by anyone. We have to be careful who we share our dreams with. We have to be careful to protect our sacred dreams, our sacred wishes, because we are the owners of the castle and we are responsible of looking after them and keeping them luminous and avoiding or preventing people who may be toxic to have access to our dreams and our most sacred wishes. The Magic Castle is inviting us during the month of May to be careful with the sacred castle where our dreams and wishes live. This card is inviting us to make our dreams come true, to work on this ladder which connects heaven and earth, and which is a ladder which has some celestial or heavenly elements, but it also has some earth elements, some physical elements. We have to find balance between heaven and earth. We have to find balance between our mundane life and our heavenly life, our spiritual life. Don't forget about your dreams. Don't forget about your sacred wishes, because they are a luminous seed that God is waiting you to make fertile. There is no crazy dream, there is no crazy wish, because all our crazy wishes are part of the divine plan. Take care of your dreams, take care of your wishes, and don't forget, don't let strangers become a visitor in this castle. Your castle is a secret place where you can feel safe with God and with your angels and your spiritual guides. I must admit, this is not a nice card. It's not an easy card to deal with when we have to work with our shadow. But as I told you at the beginning, the energies for May are quite awkward. And that's why I have been guided to prepare this forecast for the month of May. This full moon and the last week of April and the beginning of May has already started to feel quite uncomfortable, quite awkward, so to speak. And we have a card from Susannah's oracle, which is called Toxic. And this card represents all the evil or the toxic people that may cause some harm in our life. Not always because they want to hurt us, but because they are unable to do things in a different way. When people are hurt, they hurt other people. When something is broken, it breaks other people. When people have not started to heal their trauma or their wounds, they are unable to go harmless with their relationships. Many people are toxic and they can hurt other people, even though they love us profoundly, even though they may be family or they may be close friends or even our partner. Sometimes they hurt us because they are hurting inside and because they don't know how to manage those feelings, how to deal with those feelings. And the oracle is guiding us to be careful with the people who hurt us and with toxic relationships in our life. And sometimes the toxic relationship is with ourselves. Sometimes we can be toxic with ourselves because we have some toxic habits, some toxic behavior patterns, because we keep thoughts which are toxic, because we do things which are not for our highest good, because we keep repeating patterns and we keep expecting something different when the only thing we can find is harm. It is said that we have to be careful with the 5 people we interact the most. Those 5 people who we talk to very often, or those 5 people who we see very often, are going to have a great influence in our life, in our energy field, in our emotions, in our health. That's why we are asked to go through these 5 people who are, let's say, the most frequent interaction, the most frequent relationships that we have during the week, during the day. And if there is anyone who really does not help us become our highest version, our best version, then we have to maybe create some distance, to detach from those people who keep this level of toxicity very high. It's not about judging other people. It's not about questioning. It's not about criticizing. Take into account this example. If you have a glass, and this glass, when you are about to pour some water into the glass, it drops. You drop it, and it becomes a lot of pieces of glass. When you are trying to hold these pieces, when you are trying to rescue all these pieces from the ground, you are going to be hurt. Maybe you are going to have some cuttings on your skin, on your fingers. And it's not because the glass means to hurt you. It's because the glass is broken. So all these sharp edges of the pieces of glass are going to hurt you, but not because the glass itself wants to hurt you, but because it is broken. The same happens if you have a jar, or if you have a jug, or if you have a bowl and it breaks down. You are going to be hurt if you are not very careful. And some people are like that. They cannot avoid hurting others because they are so hurt inside. They are so broken to pieces that they are unable to be gentle, to be kind, to be careful. They are full of sharp edges. They are full of tiny pieces of glass, which can hurt whoever tries to reach them or whoever tries to get closer to their heart. It's necessary to build some fences, to establish some distance, to be kind of selfish in order to take care of ourselves, to keep our balance, to keep our harmony, to be able to nurture ourselves and to be able to heal our own wounds without the toxicity of some relationships, which can only make the shadow even darker. But then there is this energy in May, which appears when we are very close to the goal, very close to that place where we want to make our dreams come true. And the higher we go on this stair of the previous card of the Magic Castle, the higher we go in our spiritual life, the more we work with our shadow, then there will be circumstances and energies and people outside us which are there to mirror, to give us a mirror where to look into our shadow even deeper. Even Jesus or Mother Mary or ascended masters who were once people on earth, they had to deal with their demons, they had to deal with their shadow work, and they had many enemies. They had many people who were throwing stones at them because they didn't like the truth they were trying to show other people. Of course, I'm not Mother Mary, and I am far from being similar to Master Jesus. But it's an example to make it clear as we grow, as we expand our consciousness, we are not going to get rid of our demons. We are not going to get rid of toxic people. We are not going to get rid of challenges or difficulties. In fact, perhaps we are going to have more difficulties, more challenges, because it's part of our evolutionary path, because it's part of this university of life. It's part of the soul path. The difference is that as we go higher, as we expand our consciousness more and more, we have more resources. We have the ability to look at those circumstances, at toxic people, at challenges from the place of the observer, from the place of a witness, from the high skies where the eagle flies, because we can see the full landscape, not only the details, but we can see the forest and the tree. We can see the branch and the leaf. We can see the forest and we can see the sky. That's the difference. There might be some difficulties during this month. There might be some enemies, let's say, trying to defeat us, trying to make us give up what we are trying to achieve. But they are just there to prove ourselves that we can do better, and that no matter how many demons or how many enemies we have, if we are with God and God is inside us, the Spirit is going to keep taking care of our back. The universe has your back. The universe has our back. Whenever we are aligned with our soul's purpose, whenever we are sure and we trust our purpose and we trust the divine plan. So there might be toxic people, there might be toxic energy, but we are called to shine our light, to ask for divine guidance and support, and call in the violet flame to transmute all shadow into light. The enemy, the demon, the shadow, the darkness, has no power over us unless we give that power to them. If we are afraid of the shadow, if we are afraid of the darkness, if we are afraid of the demons that we see in the mirror, if we are afraid of our enemies, then we don't trust God. We don't have enough faith. God is the Almighty, and God has the power to do whatever He wants. It is said that God even has the power to make the demons obey, to make the dark creatures pray His name. This message does not come as a scream or as a threat. It comes as a whisper, as a soft sound, like the sound of a snake moving on the grass. If you choose not to interact with the snake and you go other way, there's no danger. If you decide that that snake is going to be your teacher, then there is no danger. It all depends on the point of view. It all depends on the attitude. The snake can also be a power animal, an animal of power. It's considered a wise animal in shamanism. Even the darkest teachers have lessons for us. But we shouldn't give them all our power. We shouldn't believe that they are more powerful than God. We shouldn't be afraid of them because God is with us and there is nothing to fear when God dwells in our heart. And now we have the whisper of the Spirit with Jesus' oracle. And Jesus is telling us, follow me without making questions. You are one of my apostles. And in this card, we can see Jesus walking away from us. Is he really walking away from us? Or is he just leading the way? He's not showing us his face, his smile, his eyes. He's just walking. We don't know where he's going. We don't know how far he's going. He's just asking us to follow him without making questions, without expecting any certainty, without requiring any maps or a compass. Jesus is our compass and our map. And we can see nothing ahead. But if we trust, if we have faith, Jesus is guiding us for our highest good. During May, we are reminded that we are one of his brothers, one of his sisters, one of his apostles. And that means that our work is important for him, that whatever we do, whatever we choose, is helping him or not to accomplish his mission of love, his mission of wisdom, his mission of forgiveness. If you don't know where to go, follow Jesus. If you don't know what to do, follow Jesus. It's a very simple message, but a very powerful message. You matter. Your work matters. Your choices matter. Because wherever you go, wherever you choose to go, you only need to follow Jesus' steps. Don't worry if he doesn't look at you. He's just looking at the path ahead. He's just looking at the horizon, and he himself is following God. So it's a stream of people. We are all walking behind Jesus, following him, and he is following the Father. He's following God. sometimes there's no need for Jesus to look at us directly. He just keeps moving. He keeps walking along the luminous path, and he trusts that we are able to follow him, that we are willing to follow him. Follow me without making questions. You are one of my apostles. This is Jesus' loving message for you during May. Let's have a look at the three messages together. First, take your time, look at the three cards together. How do you feel? And if you don't feel comfortable, if you feel uneasy, how can you change that? In a way, we have a kind of awkward sandwich because on the extremes, we have two very colorful and luminous cards. Two messages full of hope, full of promise. And then in the middle, we have a nasty feeling, like something we don't like in the middle of the sandwich. But life is like that. There is darkness and there is light. There is winter and there is spring. Or there is winter and there is summer. And sometimes you see a fruit hanging from a tree and you believe it is going to be so tasty, so delicious. But then when you start biting that fruit, there is something rotten inside. And our shadow is that rotten part in the center, in the core of a delicious fruit. But the only way to clean that rotten part, that shadow, is to deal with it, to look at the shadow into the eye and say, okay, why am I attracting toxicity in my life? Why do I keep toxic relationships? Why do I keep repeating these toxic patterns? Why do I keep doing things which are not for my highest good and which delay my well-being? Why do I keep relationships or patterns which are so toxic that keep me far away from my dreams, from my sacred wishes, that make me forget I have this magic castle built with my spirit, built with God, built with colors? Why do I keep doing things which delay my dreams? Our soul is whispering, don't forget your magic castle. Don't forget to take care of this ladder which connects heaven to earth, which connects dreams to manifestation, which make your sacred wishes come true. You can fly high like a colorful balloon, but then remember to step back down the ladder so that you bring those colorful dreams to earth and they become something physical, something that you can share with other people. And maybe when you are about to make this magic castle a fountain of true wishes, of true dreams, some enemies or some demons may try to defeat you, may try to convince you that you don't deserve those dreams to come true. Maybe there will be toxic people trying to make you feel afraid. because they themselves are afraid of making their dreams come true. So first, sit with your own enemies, the enemies that live inside you. Sit with your own toxicity, and then create new rules in order to detach from toxic people, in order to ignore the fears and expectations of people who can only hurt you because they haven't been able to heal themselves. And in order to make your dreams come true and make this magic castle a safe place on earth too, and in order to deal with the toxic relationships in your life, the only way out of this is following Jesus. And remembering that you are one of Jesus' apostles. And that means that you are also a teacher. You are a student, but you are a teacher too. And you are a messenger of God and a messenger of Jesus' mission on earth. Whatever you do, whatever dream you want to come true, make sure that this dream is aligned with Jesus' mission, with the mission of love, of forgiveness. Make sure that whatever you do to make your dreams come true, follow the path where Jesus is walking toward the light of God. If you are listening to this forecast some other year, some other week, some other month, it's because you need to hear the message. Because your soul and your spirit guides are guiding you to a new way of looking at your life, of looking at your health, of looking at your way of feeling and living, and even the way you carry your burdens. So I hope you enjoyed this new format. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Please let me know where you live. Don't use nicknames. I would prefer if you could use your actual name so that we go across the bridge with our true self. And this makes the path even more luminous. Don't forget to keep a journal. Write down the date, the message, how it felt in your body. Whatever the message is, it is very important to pay attention. What reaction did your body have when looking at the cards, when hearing the message? What did you feel? How did you feel? Where in your body did you sense something was out of order or something was out of balance? Pay attention to that. Because whatever happens in your different bodies when you are looking at the cards, when you are looking at the reading of the oracle, and when you are hearing the message being channeled, whatever happens inside and outside you is part of the message. A very, very important part of the message, because it shows where the imbalance is. It gives a hint of where you should start working. You are loved. Stay blessed, my dear. My name is Susana Lorenzo, Oracle Whisperer, and this is Holistic Bridges. Thank you for staying up to the end.